Hello everyone, today we're just going to make a gemstone bracelet. I'm going to use some chips and I'm going to make it with rainbow colours. So I've got a selection of chipped gemstones. I've chose the ones here that I'd like to use in my bracelet and I've put them in the order that I'd like to see them when my bracelet's finished. We're also going to use elastic, threading elastic, a piece of black cord or any colour cord that you'd like to use depending on what colour bracelet you'd like, some spacer beads, some little spacers, silver spacers, and some crimp beads I'm going to use. Okay, and the crimp beads or the crimps are the ones that we're going to use just to crimp the elastic once we've threaded on the gemstones. Okay. I've got a couple of tools. I've got some round nose pliers here. Those are handy just at the end to make sure that the loop on your bracelet on the elastic is right. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. I've also got some crimps so that I'm going to crimp my crimp beads to keep the elastic tight so that the beads don't fall off and that my gemstones don't fall off my elastic. And some scissors, just simple scissors. Okay, so with the crimp bead, you're going to take your crimp bead first, little crimp, and your elastic. You're going to thread the crimp bead through. It's got a crimp bead, but silver. Once you've threaded it on to your elastic, you're going to fold your elastic over and thread it back through the crimp. Okay. Push it through quite a bit so that you can see. That's how I've done it. Okay, so we've threaded that through. You see there? And you're going to just pull it so that the loop is the right size, the size that you want. You just need it big enough to thread your black cord or the cord that you're going to use for your bracelet. You just need it big enough for that to thread through. So I'm going to make my little loop a little bit smaller. Okay. And this is where some people like just to use the round nose pliers just to make sure that they've got it the right size so that they can make the one on the other end the same size, because you're going to make one on the other end once you've threaded all your gemstones and your spacer beads on your elastic. Okay, and then I'm going to use my crimps just to crimp it so that the elastic is tight and ready for threading. Okay, can you see there? Okay, any of these little ends I will chop off at the end using my scissors. Okay, so now I've decided what order my beads and my gemstones are going to go in. I'm going to thread a crimp bead on, spacer bead on first, and then I'm going to choose the first gemstone, which is this red one. And then another spacer bead. Remember to put a spacer bead between each gemstone that you thread. You can use anything in, or any colours. You don't necessarily need to use gemstones. You can use any kind of beads that you've got at home. And you can choose any pattern. You can use all the same colour. I've just chose the rainbow colours on mine. And once I've threaded all of them, threaded all the spacer beads on and all my gems. Okay, once I've threaded them all on, I'm going to have something that looks a little bit like this. Okay, again I've got the same colours, the rainbow colours. Okay. When you get to the very end with the last one, you're going to do the same again with the crimp bead. Threading your crimp bead on, remembering to put a spacer bead on as your last spacer before you put your crimp on. Push it through, and this is again where I said the round nose pliers comes in quite handy, because it means you can hold the elastic to pull the other end through. Oops. Just pulled it out, I did. Go. sure you don't pull it out. Okay, and then you can crimp that last little bead as well. I don't know whether you can see that. See if you crimp the last little bead. Yep. And once you've crimped that, you'll end up with something that looks like this. Okay. So I'm going to use this one that I made earlier. And as I said, make sure the loop is big enough to thread your cord through. Okay, I'm going to thread it through them both. Yeah, so I've threaded it through both my elastics. Yeah, because what's going to happen when we've tied a knot in this end here, we're going to have a bracelet that looks like that. Okay, so you've got a double cord on your bracelet. Okay, I'm going to measure my bracelet off on my wrist, and once I've measured it off on my wrist so that I know I've got the right size, I've got one here, look, that's already finished. Once I've measured the bracelet off on my wrist by holding the cords in place, okay, that looks quite big. Yeah, looks quite big, so by the time I've got the knots on there, it won't be quite as big as that. Okay, so but I'm going to tie the knots one over the other and through the loop so the knot is in place. Oops, let's do another one. Let's put that one out. Another one. I'm just going to do a very simple basic knot. Okay, let's come out. And another one here. You can tie as many knots as you like on there, it's up to you. Okay, I usually keep going and then I usually wrap them around and do more so that I'm wrapping my cord into my bracelet. Yeah. And another one on the other side so that it's tied into itself. Coming out of the middle of the screen I can see. Okay, and another one into the edge there so that it's tied onto itself. I'm making a little bit of a loop knot. Let's put that one a bit tighter. Okay. Yeah. You can see that. Hold it a bit out, see? And then pull the two cords. Okay, so I've gone from there, pulling both the cords and making the little bracelet. Very simple, very quick and very colourful. Okay, with the rainbow colours. And here's one I made before. Okay, so there's two there. Absolutely perfect. And the knots at the end, you know that it's right and it's in the right place. You can tie as many little knots on there. Oops, just bring it down a little bit into the camera screen. Okay, you can just cut the ends off. Sometimes some people put a little bit of nail varnish on the end just to tie them in, or a little bit of glue, clear nail varnish or glue. Wait for the glue to dry, of course, and the nail varnish to dry. Okay, and you can cut off the ends with your scissors, or if you want you can leave them. It's up to you, it's your choice. Just tie a little knot in that one so that my elastic and my string isn't as long. Okay. And there's the bracelet. Again, beautiful gemstones, the rainbow colours. Okay. Enjoy. Have a go at making it. Hope you enjoy making it and have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.